Y'all sure? I know it's almost lunchtime. Y'all want to get there? How do I have it?
1, 2, 1, 2.
Okay. All right, perfect. All right. So this is going to be a quick, nice, lovely conversation with my friends and colleagues in the ballroom community. So my name is Father Kahlib Garçon. I'm the Gulf Coast father of the international legendary house of Kahlib Garçon. I will let you introduce yourself.
Testing. All right, hi everyone, my name is Kelly. I'm the legendary Dallas mother of the House of Chanel here in the house, in Dallas.
Hello. Okay, there we go. Hello everybody, I'm legendary Hershey West. I am the Gulf Coast mother of the house of the captivation House of West.
Hey everybody, my name is Yeezy Tisci. I am the Gulf Coast mother of the impeccable house of Ricardo Tisci.
So you all just got to see a little taste of ballroom to those who maybe haven't experienced. There was a little bit of taste. To those who may not have experienced ballroom culture, and we are here today to talk to you about ballroom culture as a catalyst for health equity. So just a little bit to those maybe who are unfamiliar with the ballroom scene, you obviously got to see them perform, but this experience of ballroom is cultural. It dates back to the 60s and 70s where it first started birthing from the drag pageant scene. What happened was there was a black trans woman who said that the drag pageant scene was exclusionary for specifically black and brown folks who were participating in that space. So she went and created her own space, crystallization. And now we have birthed a whole culture that is global that we call ballroom that incorporates what you saw today, which is performances, but also has a huge component of collective care, of a foundation of family, a place of belonging for a lot of people across the world who have not felt like they belonged in their own families, in their own spaces. So we'll navigate through this conversation with that in mind. And to my panelists, I will ask you our first question. For those who are unfamiliar with ballroom culture, could you just describe what ballroom actually truly represents for you, and maybe just talk a little bit about it beyond media and social media and the maybe clickbait that we see of a lot of drama that happens. What is the ballroom experience in your opinion? Anybody can start.
For me, ballroom was my world at one point. I mean, it still is in a way, but ballroom helped develop the person that you see before you. I was one of those people that didn't have the best home life, and through that, I had to find my tribe. By finding my tribe, I found joy again. I found a sense of belonging, and yeah, so that's what ballroom always was for me. But in a sense, before social media was so big, ballroom was what you looked at for inspiration, for that drive of what that bad bitch is, or or whatever, but public speaking.
So for me, ballroom was more than just the fashion of it, the performance, the competition. It was survival. Definitely coming from Chicago, it was more of a survival thing for us. It was more of finding people that looked like me, that had a sense of direction to give me a more open mindset to be creative in a space that was meant for us. So the culture of ballroom, as far as social media, what people see, is more bigger than what y'all see. It's a survival for most people. It's a family. It's a sense of belonging. It's a healing place for some people that goes through a lot of things that are not being able to be heard or be seen. You can be seen at ballroom.
For me, ballroom is definitely a place of creativity. It's a place where I'm able to go and be the ultimate ego that I want to be. I'm 5'2" and I walk runway, and you can't tell me that I'm not 6'3" when I'm walking runway. I'm believing whoever I am that I want to be in that space. Ballroom definitely is a place where you can come and just be your ultimate self and surround yourself with other like-minded individuals that have the same struggles that you, that's been through the same things that you've been through, that kind of live the daily lifestyle that you live as well. For me, one of the misconceptions that people see on social media is that it's just about competition. And it's just one part of it. The bigger part of ballroom is about the community and being like with family. I'm an only child, and coming into ballroom, like I've made so many friends and made so many connections that it's really helped me within my job, and also that helped me with just being social skills and being able to be around people regularly.
So, yeah, I appreciate y'all for answering that, and please speak plainly on any of these questions. You don't have to sugarcoat. But I think one of the things that ballroom has been for me has been a refuge. I came into doing ballroom as I was experiencing homelessness in Washington, D.C. through my mother, Twiggy, who also has her own experiences navigating homelessness that she talks about in documentaries, so it's out there. But I think that for me, it was a space that I could call home and receive family that would also look after me, take care of my immediate needs, while also kind of helping me motivate and propel myself to the next level. So could y'all talk a little bit about either your personal experience or with your kids, because we're all parents on this stage. What are some of the things that you think ballroom actually addresses, those social determinants, those other issues that impact Black, queer, and trans youth, that maybe isn't something that's funded like on in the space of public health or any of these entities, but the work that we do as parents to make sure that our kids are taken care of.
I would start off with saying, as she touched on earlier, or as they touched on earlier about the sex work and things like that. Living in Chicago, like I said, experiencing homelessness and having to do sex work and coming into a space that I'm in now where I'm able to guide other youthful people to not go down and navigate in that road. Ballroom, literally, like I said, it saved lives. It really do on a bigger hand than what people may even think. Just as a parent, being able to be there for someone that's younger so that they don't make the same mistakes, giving them resources as far as jobs and how to build resumes and how to actually navigate through this world when basically we're the people that most people will turn their backs on. Most people will give up on. Most people will say that we can't make it, especially more cuntier butch queens or trans women that is transitioning, the things that they go through. I've watched many of my sisters go through struggles, transitioning, trying to have a job and not be on the street sex working. Or I have seen some of my closest friends be unalived by sex working and trying to just live their life. So that's my take on it.
I would just say to that point, we as parents have a unique perspective, right? Because not only were some of us ostracized from our families or had to encounter sex work or navigating through spaces that were not necessarily accepted to us, we are able to guide those rambunctious sorts that come up after us and with a little bit more understanding, a little bit more finer touch than the outside people can give them. So for me, that's one of the things that brings me joy in being a parent, because to watch someone go from some of their most broken moments and to see them be successful, have their head on straight now, it's just always done something for me. So.
Anything to add, Yeezy?
Yeah, it's so much bigger than being a parent and just helping your kids get ready for a category. Yeah. It's like being a parent, the job never stops. Like it literally never stops. Like they're adults as well, so they are going through their own things, like they kind of mentioned as far as like building their resumes or helping them with jobs or helping them get the resources that they need, or sometimes just they see somebody to talk to. They may not be able to talk to their like blood mother about certain things that they're going through. So sometimes it's just about being a listening ear and guiding them in that space and being like a friend for them sometimes as well.
Yeah. We talked a little bit, not really, we alluded to the drama that exists in Ballroom. It's not a space, it is a sacred space, but it's not free of drama. Every space has it, right? So how do y'all think, we're here talking about stigma specifically, how does stigma actually perpetuate itself in the ballroom community?
I think in the ballroom space, stigma is blatant, but also it's like something that people don't talk about, but everybody knows. And So for me, again, stigma is something that people in ballroom, they know all too well. So they're used to seeing it. They have internalized stigma just being themselves. What is it to be the right gay person, the right trans person? What is it to be passable? What is it to be living in your truth? What is it to be accepted when that's all you want and you're not? People live those harsh realities and those truths, and shit, I lost my train of thought. But oh geez, sorry. He had to come back. But yeah, so for me, I'm sorry, y'all. Go ahead to the next person. I'll be next.
I think it was stigma. I think like Kellie was saying, I think that all of us kind of live through certain things as far as stigma, as far as being homophobic or transphobic or whatever it looks like, or even just our race. And I think that sometimes it does bleed over into ballroom. The beautiful thing about it is that, again, like we're all living through the same thing. And with the competition and kind of being the behind the scenes of helping somebody like be their ultimate best on the floor. Helps with their ego, helps with their confidence, helps with all of that, so that, yeah, we are all going through the stigmas, but the beautiful part about Ballroom is being their beautiful self. It kind of like eliminates that to make it better.
I'm gonna keep it 100. Ballroom still has it, they still hides it, they still stray away from those types of conversations from it. We're trying to do better. I think it's gotten better over the years, but we're still millions of years away from it being to where it needs to be. We still stray away from harsh conversations in Ballroom. We still cater to things that shouldn't be catered to in Ballroom. We kind of cause ourselves some self-harm in Ballroom sometimes. With just living with certain stigmas, you can watch it on social media, how we talk to each other, and it be the people in the Ballroom community, from health reads, from talking about sexual assault. Like, you see it gets laughed upon, it gets talked about. It's not something that is taken serious in the Ballroom community, which we're trying to get better and hold people accountable for these things, but it's just taking time.
I think to that end, there's been a lot of investment in Ballroom from different entities, funders, but a lot of time I think that is specifically for balls, for them to have a test event outside, and there's nothing innovative or creative about that at all. So I have some ideas, but I want y'all to answer first. What do y'all think would be a different approach that people who are wanting to invest into Ballroom communities, how they can get in there to combat the issues that you just spoke about, like people having stigmatic conversations around HIV status or sexual assault or gender identity? What are some of the things that y'all think can be done differently from our partners outside of Ballroom?
I would say starting off actually interacting with the Ballroom community. I think people that come there to do the testings and, to be there, they're not really interacting with the people. Like, they know someone that's having a ball, that's who they interact with. No, come to the balls. Actually interact with the kids, that not just with the parents, it's really the kids that need the resources, because 9 times out of 10, the people that's in leadership, they've already been through it, they've already grown from it, they're doing probably okay right now. It's the children that's in our houses that needs the help, that needs the resources, and there's no interaction with our children. It's interaction with leadership, it's interaction with older people that's in Ballroom. Actually interact with these people that is younger, so that they can understand, hey, I can go to this person for the resources, I can talk to this person, I'm able to reach out to this person. I don't have to go through my mother or father. I can actually do it through myself, and that gives them a sense of actually being able to have a sense of power of what they need to do in their life, instead of it leading up to someone else.
I would say make things relatable. Like Nathan, you were saying earlier, it's kind of hard to listen to somebody, they didn't live your lived experiences. It's different. So for me, I would say make things a little bit more relatable, because as someone that's been in the scene forever, we know this, when you're there for testing, you get your free test, boom, now you win the ball. You really don't necessarily receive something from that, unless you get some harsh news that night. But for the most part, most people just utilize it for that resources, and I don't think it really grasps them. So I would say more in-depth conversations with someone that is a little bit more relatable to Ballroom people. Making it fun.
I think they would benefit by partnering with us instead of just using the community as like serving or entertainment purposes. Giving us a seat at the table, giving us some type of ownership, so that we're able to have those open conversations more consistently, and not just, at a summit or every other month or something like that. And coming to balls so they're able to see what the culture actually is. Because it's bigger than the competition, it's bigger than the family. Like, it's really a whole culture. And if you're on the outside looking in, you would never understand until you're actually in it, for, being consistent actually in it and understanding what that culture is and what that feels like.
And this changes, it's constantly changing, so, you know, you just never know until you're in it. It's constantly changing too, so, you know, you never really know unless you're on the ground and you in it, so.
Yeah, and I think beyond just balls, every house has practices, they have family gatherings, they have all these things. So I think not always coming with an agenda, right? So building a relationship with the leadership first, and then just saying, hey, can I just stop by practice? I'm just coming, I just want to kick it, you know what I'm saying, hang out with y'all, I was gonna bring y'all food. Because no shade, food always gets you in the door, especially if it's good, right? So like, I think like, you know, just coming and hanging out to learn people on an individual level, to then be able to influence them and impact their lives on a larger scale. And like my chapter, we do an annual retreat. I would love for somebody to help fund it and come and do a conversation. So if there's anybody out there, we just got back last weekend. I spent a lot of money, you know? And I would love for anybody to come and bring in a meal and spend an hour with us just to have a chat, you know, to get intimate about some of the details of things that folks are grappling with. I think that would be definitely helpful in a different approach that we have not seen before. So as we mentioned at the top of this, trans women have been foundational in everything that we have done with Ballroom, and yet we still see, as you mentioned, Hershey, a lot of stigmatizing language that is transphobic that exists. What changes do y'all think are still needed within the Ballroom community to make sure that trans people are treated with dignity, respect, and equity? And if there's anything that our healthcare partners can do to support us to making that happen?
So for me, I know this is like a HIV stigma summit, but.
Just stigma.
Well, yeah, I'm sorry, just stigma.
It was.
Yeah, stigma within itself. But as a lived trans woman with lived experiences, I don't always need, young trans women don't always need assistance in their sexual health more so than they do their transitional health, and just knowing where things are right for them and what's not. With that, people have done things to black market ways to just be the better person that they need to be, instead of having a space that was open and welcoming and understanding to be able to have those conversations with them. So for me, and just being respectful within itself. I myself come from an era where it was either a boy or it was a girl or it was a trans woman. I have had to change my thinking and being understanding to the non-binary realm, because in my world, it was a gay male who understood that he had a little more sass than, you know, a mask. But for people in the sense of belonging, I understand nowadays, and it makes sense. So I think just learning over time and helping teaching people would.
I appreciate that vulnerability, because I think, you know, oftentimes we assume that because you're in a leadership position, because you're a trans, that you know that you should be accepting of everybody, right? But it's not always the case. We're all on our personal journeys, and it's important for us to have that level of vulnerability in these conversations. Y'all have anything to add?
I would say I actually had this conversation with trans sisters, friends. Their number one thing was they want to be looked at as a person. When they go into these healthcare places, having doctors actually update their information instead of like they're sitting in the waiting room and a guy could be sitting next to them trying to talk to them, and then you come out and say Eric Willis, because you didn't update their information, you haven't updated their chart. Even if you gave them numbers so that it's not a feeling of, now I feel like my identity is being taken away from me, or I feel like someone is trying to, because I don't think healthcare providers know the danger that y'all put trans women in when they're not updating charts, where they're not updating information. You're putting them in more danger because you didn't call them by their government name, not the name that they actually want to be noticed by. So it's things like that, actually making sure that y'all understand that they are people and that what they are going through actually matters.
Gotta keep somebody from getting their name, period.
Yeah.
Like for real. When you deal with people on the outside trying to tell you who you are, and then you go into somebody for help or assistance, and then it's the same face, just on a different person, it just don't feel good. So I like that point.
The same thing as far as like with Ballroom. I think that trans people need to have more representation when it comes to higher leadership figures on alliances, so that they're able to have their equal voices as well as other male figures, so that everybody's able to be equal and have their trans woman voice, their trans man voice, their queen voice, so everybody's able to be equal and have their POV expressed.
And to our healthcare friends, hire trans people and don't just hire them for direct service. Promote them.
Yeah.
And you can charge the organization. Okay. So what advice would y'all give to healthcare providers? Because we have a lot of those folks and friends in the room. Healthcare providers, public health agencies, and any community organizations who want to build trust with the ballroom community. What is some advice we can give?
I would say, like you said, consistency, but also like you said, just outside of the ballroom things, we do have practices, we have family days, we have community events within ballroom where all houses get together, and we actually come together where they can come and build those relationships. And a lot of time, a lot of those things is funded out of parents' pockets, out of us, just us, like, hey, come donate this, hey, can y'all bring this, hey, can y'all bring that? It's literally within ourselves. But if we actually are able to build a bridge with healthcare providers and people, we will be able to get funding, we'll be able to do more for the community as a whole, not just even ballroom, just as the gay community in a whole.
Same, I think that one thing is the communication piece. Getting to know us outside of ballroom. Yes, we are in ballroom, but we're regular people as well. Like, we have regular lives, regular jobs, the regular struggles that everybody else goes through as well. And kind of getting to know us on that level. Also, I think by investing in us, again, like I said, giving us ownership, giving us a seat at the table, and partnering with us, and not just using it as entertainment purposes, but understanding that we have a voice too.
I would say get with y'all ballroom alliances from state to state. There is one. They guys can always find a way to bridge that gap as a group scene versus just individual. So yeah.
Yeah, plenty of opportunity there for sure. And then we have about 5 minutes, so I would love to hear from y'all. What gives you all hope for the future of ballroom? And what message do you want attendees to take away about ballroom, how ballroom plays in creating healthier and stronger communities? I'm gonna say it again. So what gives you hope for the future of ballroom? And what message do you want attendees to take away about the role ballroom plays in creating healthier and stronger communities?
I'll go ahead.
So what gives me hope is the next generation of kids that we mentor. That's always given me hope. Teaching and pouring back into the community of what I've loved to do for over 23 years now. That gives me hope, especially in ballroom. What was the last thing? Because I forgot.
And what message do you want attendees to take away about the role ballroom plays in creating stronger communities?
So the message that I want people to take away is we're not just for entertainment purposes. Like Yeezy said, we are definitely people. We are people that's trying to bridge a gap and actually take away a lot of stigma that is placed onto ballroom. So that's what I want people to take away from all of this today.
For me, what gives me hope for the future is definitely my chapter. Being able to see a lot of them first time in ballroom, their first house, not really knowing anything about ballroom, and seeing them grow into leaders and prince and princesses and things like that, and win their first grand prize, and see how good it makes them feel to actually accomplish winning a grand prize under the Tisci name, really gives me hope to want to keep going. And talking to my mentors and them feeding into me and give me that good advice on how to be a better mother and how to be a better runway person really helps me know that the future is getting better. One thing that I want people to take away from all of this is to understand that ballroom is one big place of so many different type of resources. We have hairstylists, makeup artists, wardrobe stylists, nurses, teachers, we have everything. Like, it's one big pile of resources. And I think that if we have that right investment of those right people that are able to come and tap into and understand all that we have and all that we offer outside, we really bridge that gap.
What gives me hope is things like this. I've never really truly got to be a part of something like this. It gives me hope for, you know, the voices that are in the trenches, in the ballroom to be heard. That does give me hope. Seeing people, like I said earlier, that I have witnessed, just need that ear, that safe space, and to watch them grow and develop, whether it be in ballroom or outside of ballroom. You know, to know they are gainfully employed now, to know they're not staying out all weekend clowning, you know, they got their head on straight. That gives me hope. And as far as what I want you guys to know about ballroom, it will be, you know, like Yeezy said, we are not a monolith. We are not one size fits all. Everybody has unique needs, unique responses to how people interact with them. And I would say just get to know us. You know, behind that stigma is our humanity.
Absolutely. Behind our stigma is our humanity. That's good. Jot that down.
I'm gonna take that.
Okay. Jot that down.
Quote her.
Yes, I really, this conversation was amazing. I think one of the things that I feel I'm a proponent for is that our systems that we encounter as young people, youth, Black queer people, Black trans people navigating the world, they oftentimes take our power away from our families to education systems, criminal legal systems, all those things. Healthcare systems, they take our power away so often. And I appreciate y'all as parents and leaders in the ballroom communities for being conduits and practitioners to remind our kids that the power belongs to them and doing everything you can to make sure that they can take it back. Is it either way through the runway, through winning, through making sure they have gainful employment, through making sure that they're fed and cared for. All of that is very, very important work that y'all are doing, and I cannot appreciate y'all enough, not just for this conversation, but for the dedication that y'all have to Black queer people, Black trans people across the globe, but more specifically in the Gulf Coast area. So thank y'all so much. Yes.
In this little topograph we in.
Yeah.
He has been someone that I have watched to see the dedication that he has put in is
The icon.
hopeful.
The
Yeah, that's
For me,
right.
yeah.
Also, too, as well, it is a ball tonight. Just FYI, there is a ball tonight. Kayla Ninja and CJ007 will be having a back to school drive ball. So this is one of the things that we do as well, is for back to school to give supplies and things that the children need. We try to still give back to the community.
We're gonna do a couple Q&A. We'll take like 3 questions. If anybody has a question.
Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Adam Onestini with Yeezy. I'm from Cleveland in Dallas. But, you know, we're here talking about stigma. And my question for you guys is that if stigma has evolved from being more overt to kind of more subtle in our community, we notice how that impacts who gets believed, who gets provided safety, and who gets pushed to the side. You know, are we really truly, how do we know when we have reduced stigma or if we are becoming better at hiding and expressing the stigma? And, you know, what are some ways that we can see as points to say, okay, we've actually evolved and moved past some of the stigma that's still rampant in our community?
That's a good question.
That's a really good question. Do y'all want to?
I think conversations like this, honestly, this really been, since I've been in Ballroom, kind of the first time that I've ever really heard this conversation come up, and I think it's very interesting. I think one way to make it be better is kind of having this conversation in like those ballroom conferences, where it's like all of the leaders from all different houses, so they're able to have that conversation, because it really kind of starts with the leaders. If they're able to address it, then you kind of able to flush it down the timeline, like with your kids and through that way.
The timeline was actually a great point. That's where I was going. Ballroom lives on Facebook, if you don't know. So I think we can't necessarily measure it the best way. I think this is a measurement we have, like this conversation happened, y'all are listening to it, right? So that is something that we do have. But I think that when I see comments of people being stigmatic and saying things about people living with HIV that is negative, and I see not just ballroom leaders, but just ballroom participants in general responding to them saying, don't say that. That's not how we behave. That's not how we respond to this type of situation. And letting them know in real time that they need to be corrected, I think that is a measurement that we don't oftentimes gauge. And that's a lot of the time where our accountability comes from in ballroom is on Facebook, which isn't always the best. But it is something that we can actually track. So if we are more cognizant of how stigma shows up and we take note of those people who actually speak out against it, I think we can begin to actually track some of those more measures.
Yeah, I was gonna say, just look at the recent interaction just happened. People held certain people accountable, and even the negative things that people were saying on Facebook, the action that happened, people were still holding those people accountable, telling them, hey, that's not right, hey, take that down, you should delete this. So like I said, we're trying to get better at it. It's still just a lot of work to be done.
My question, well, really not a question, more of a statement. I consider myself a new gay, and I really just don't know. And I want to get involved. I want to come to the balls, but I don't know. Like you said, it was a ball tonight. Had no clue. So I feel like if you guys maybe post flyers more or just promote the balls, y'all would get more participation. Because my following, a lot of people are just like me. A lot of people are late bloomers. We're coming out late, so we just don't know. We want to get involved. We see the videos online. I get comments all the time when I do go to a ball. They be like, oh, I didn't even know either until I got there. Maybe I was filming something and I just happened to post my content on my page, and they were like, oh, I didn't know it was a ball. Well, I didn't either. So I feel like if you guys want more participation, more y'all voices to be heard, or so for people to see that you guys are human, like promote more. We just don't know.
With J-Rod, you can go to Tens or Chops. Tens or Chops. J-Rock is always on there. He's always promoting. He's always making sure, especially in Dallas, that you are able to know where balls is held, where they are going to be thrown at. Also, too, she's on TikTok. She's always at a ball, she's always promoting, she's always putting it out there. We're trying to get better at like being on social media, especially with Tens or Chops and Adam on the scene with 2 E's. They're trying to get better at promoting Ballroom so that people can actually know where to go, when it's gonna happen, where it's gonna be at. J-Rock tries to let people know S4 on Sundays, Wednesdays, and Marty's is always going on. So anytime you want to come out, stop by.
I just want to add to that, and I appreciate you for pointing that out. But I do want to say, like, it's promoted extremely heavily. I think that you being like from a citizen of love and from a place of grace, you're new here. Ballroom, not. It is out there. You just weren't following the right people in place. So I think that we have to give ourselves and like go back and like, what the question could have been is like, where can I find you? Where is it at? Because it is promoted all over the place. You don't know, look for the groups. Type in like Gulf Coast Ballroom, like you can see there's groups that you can join and stuff like that too. Because it's out there, it's promoted like everywhere. But if you ain't been on the scene with 2 E's, or something like that, you might not know. But it's out there, so I just want to give that grace to the ballroom community. They're doing a great job of promotion. It is out there, but I think it's okay to just ask, so where can I go and find it? And so thank you for doing that.
And I also want to add that is an opportunity that you mentioned because there are plenty of public health care folks in here, so we would love to cross-promote.
Yeah.
Y'all ask how y'all can be supportive. That sharing on your social media platform where you have thousands of followers and a reach that's larger than us as individuals is helpful enough, and that will help get you in the door. So to your point, that would get the message out about the things that are happening a lot more. But yeah,
And I'm gonna pass to J-Rock. I'm sorry, we have a lot of other questions and stuff like that too, y'all. They're really important. But I'm hungry. I'm gonna eat. So I'm so sorry. It's fried fish and chicken and like you breathe. I'm so sorry. You had something you want to say, right? And also when it comes to organizations who want to be involved with Ballroom too, if you're an organization, a pharma, any type of entity, money, fund Ballroom. Like put your money there because Ballroom is a space that you really want to be in. That's your heart to read population. The space is created. You want to get over here to get your numbers. You got no
We
money in
don't
that.
just fund
It's not
invest.
free.
We don't need a one-time funding.
Yeah, no, keep it going, yes. But yes, balls ain't cheap. Balls are not cheap at all. Like, no, so sorry.
Let's be clear, we don't need a drop-off. We need a continuous
So-
investment.
My name is J. Rock Ebony Cedric Johnson for those people that like to invest, so. No, but I've been in ballroom for 18 years, and I wanted to point out something. It says ballroom culture as a catalyst to help equity. This is for the funders in the room, for people that may see this, because this will be international. This is all over. People in Paris know what goes on in Dallas every single Wednesday night. You see what I'm saying? Because we're always rolling. Right? Shout out to all my leaders up here that spoke well, but I wanted to give it into put it in a perspective to where y'all can see what's in it for me. Because at the end of the day, Gilead, V, all these places that do give you funding want to know, they want to get a good return on their investment. What's in it for me? Am I just coming to a ball? Am I just funding y'all? Or what is this money doing for ballroom? All those stories that you heard, when we're on those floors and everything, the lights have to go off. When the lights go off, you have thousands and thousands and thousands across the world. They have to go to every subculture that you look for that might utilize your resources. So although we're pulling people into ballroom and we're being mothers and we're being fathers, we still have to have those 2 o'clock in the morning phone calls. It's more than just HIV, it's the whole person concept. You're gonna give me some pills, but where medicine cabinet am I gonna put it in if I don't have housing? You wanna give me this HIV medicine, but I'm hungry. And now I gotta take meds, but I don't have any food. You see what I'm saying? It's more than that. I don't have a job. This is the type of stuff we run into as ballroom parents, right? So what we do is, like we said, we have our talks, we have our practices, we have all these things. If we could get funding to make sure that we can get somebody on Big Tardy, somebody on Capanuva, the shot, or PrEP, or all these things like that, that's the return on investment. You're not only getting your numbers, you're hitting a culture, not just a community, a culture all across the world, okay? So when you see this, and like to what they were saying, we're the new generation of leaders of ballroom. It's almost 50 years old. So when they first came out, it was just about surviving. We've been to college. We've done these things. So now we are Freelux. We are, the TOC Foundation. Partner with those people that are ballroom and in ballroom, because what we're trying to do is, we're not out here just trying to get a coin and money. Some of us came from the mud. Okay, so we're trying to bring others behind us. That funding of a Freelux or a TOC Foundation or a Bound in Prosperity could get someone into care, and we can reduce HIV and homelessness and getting people jobs and things of that nature. So I just wanted to make sure that I pointed that out, using ballroom as a catalyst to help equity.
Thank you, J-Rock.
We're gonna try amazing panelists one more time.
You try to keep recording. We got some more ballroom stuff to go over. Really quickly, let me grab one. Yes. So
He told me to keep it.
One thing that the Freelux Project really prides itself on is honoring community, honoring leaders who do this kind of work, and it's really important to give people their flowers while they're still here and they can smell them. And this year, for the first time, Nathaniel decided that he wanted to honor some folks who would be here, who've been doing this work that we hadn't seen get the recognition that they just so rightfully deserve. I'm gonna take it from that.
Yeah, anybody who knows Freelux knows that we do a brunch every March where we honor women that have done some great work in public health. Yeah. Hello. Okay. That are doing some great things in public. I'm loud anyway, so I'll just project. But with this summit, and we've been growing, I wanted to really honor some people that are doing work that are not women. Honestly, it was very much so. We had that curated space. We wanted to curate a space for people that we know in community that are doing some great work. And so we came up with this award for community Stigma champions. There are people that are doing work in the community that very thankless jobs, who show up all the time, who are at everything, never ask for anything, and are always there. And so this year, our first community champion awardee is actually Cedric J. Rock Johnson.
That's how we need to make sure you're here. All the work that you're doing. We do want you to know that we appreciate you and we're so thankful. We see you. We see you. Community sees you. Even what you did just now, like that's amazing. You're just a leader. So
we have to get in the mic again for the same
right.
thing.
So yeah, there you go. You got something to say?
No, this is actually surprising because everybody know that I'm the overall overseer of the iconic House of Ebony. That's 48 years old in Ballroom. We had a big community cookout in New York this weekend, right? Where we was bridging the gap between the younger generation and the older generation, and so I had to be there, right? But they moved it to Sunday. And you had called and said, can you be here? And I'm like, oh my God, I have to be in New York. Well, they moved it to Sunday, so I hit them up and I said, I was only going up there for one day. I cannot make it Sunday, so I'm gonna be at home. So this was like totally unexpected. I just woke up. Adam can tell you, I was just dead asleep maybe about an hour and a half.
I was buzzing the phone. I was like, "Hey, are you coming? Are you still coming?"
So I just came. I got in the Uber. I got up here, and I said, "Let me get up here," because I made sure and I told my leaders I would be here. So this is I take everything. I take every single high five, clap, thank you. I take that with so much gratitude because I am truly a servant of community. And the reason why it's so emotional, because that's what I was raised by my grandmother. She just gave so much to community. And that's all I know how to be, is a servant to community. And it's a lot of sacrifices that come with that. Whether it's sacrifices with family, sacrifices with loved ones, sacrifices with things that you wanted to do, but the community, when you put it first, you see somebody like Daniel Holly, you see somebody like DeAndre, like we go through a lot of sacrifices and we don't say it. We show up, we be there. So this right here is very important to me. If you ever came to my house, I keep every trophy. I have trophies from 5 years old, like literally from me being 5. And I keep them because that's what I look at and I say, somebody saw you. Because of what you do when nobody's looking, that's who you really are. And when nobody's looking, I'm thinking about, did this person eat? Did this person, where are they at? What are they doing? And that's what keeps me up at night, wondering, is my community just living and thriving? So I thank y'all so much from the bottom of my heart for doing this.
We appreciate it. Love you.